Good morning, class. Welcome to another Reader's Workshop. Yesterday, you did a great job finding the message in our Frog and Toad chapter, and all of you pretty much, more or less, said something like, too much of anything is a bad thing. And remember, too many cookies was a bad thing, even though cookies are good. So too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And to have some self-control, and there was a message there. I think someone used that term, self-control. That was a really good one. So you did a good job. We have a few messages that we have learned throughout this book. You can't plan for everything in life. You must be patient. Too much of anything is a bad thing. And now we're going to read the fourth chapter called Dragons and Giants. Dad is behind the camera. Say hi, Dad.
Hi, kids.
All right, get my toad on. Here we go. Dragons and Giants. Frog and Toad were reading a book together. I can make a connection. We're reading a book too. The people in this book are brave, said Toad. They fight dragons and giants, and they are never afraid. I wonder if we are brave, said Frog. Frog and Toad looked into a mirror. We look brave, said Frog. Yes, but are we? Asked Toad. Take a nice look at that picture. Do you think those two characters are brave? What do you think, Dad?
No.
I'm just saying, they don't look that brave. They look like they're wearing grandpa clothes, and just saying, they don't look that brave. Let's see what they do. Frog and Toad went outside. We can try to climb this mountain, said Frog. That should tell us if we're brave. Frog went leaping over rocks, and Toad came puffing up behind him. They came to a dark cave. A big snake came out of the cave. Hello, lunch, said the snake. When he saw Frog and Toad, he opened his wide mouth. Frog and Toad jumped away. Toad was shaking. I'm not afraid, he cried. If you're shaking, are you not afraid?
Well, you're usually afraid if you're shaking.
I would say you are. The snake saw them and said, Hello, lunch. They climbed higher, and they heard a loud noise. Many large stones were rolling down the mountain. It's an avalanche, cried Toad. Frog and Toad jumped away. Frog was trembling. I'm not afraid, he shouted. If you're trembling, are you afraid?
Usually.
Yeah, trembling means you're shaking. Usually that's something you do when you're afraid, but he's telling himself, I'm not afraid. So we already know the problem, probably. Let's see how it ends. They came to the top of the mountain. The shadow of a hawk fell over them. Frog and Toad jumped under a rock. The hawk flew away. We are not afraid, screamed Frog and Toad at the same time. Then they ran down the mountain very fast. They ran past the place where they saw the avalanche. They ran past the place where they saw the snake. They ran all the way to Toad's house. Why do you think they're running away?
Because they're afraid.
I would say so. Frog, I am glad to have a brave friend like you, said Toad. He jumped into the bed and pulled the covers over his head. And I am happy to know a brave person like you, Toad, said Frog. He jumped into the closet and shut the door. Toad stayed in his bed and Frog stayed in the closet. They stayed there for a long time, just feeling very brave together. There's the end of our chapter. So why would Frog go in the closet and Toad cover himself with the blankets? Because they might be a little afraid. I shared the same worksheet with you, and some of you are using it, and some of you are just typing it in. You know that's fine. You should be getting good at finding the problem, the solution. And then the thing I'm really paying close attention to is the message. So this one is tough. What could the message have been? Something about bravery. There was something to be said for friendship at the end. And maybe even something to be said for should you try to be like other people? Because they were reading a book about, people in this book are brave. How important is it to be brave? And what does it mean to be brave? Think about these things and see if you can come up with a message. This story is pretty hard. I had a tough time coming up with a message. I think I came up with one, and I'll share that with you for our next read aloud. Any last words, Dad? No last words? Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and watch all my videos.